we at? Where we at? All right, tell me what you see over there. Tell me how we looking. Cause it's that culture, untold.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, we hot in them streets.
Hot in these streets.
We got a special guest in the house.
Oh yeah.
Yeesh, we doing big. We don't even
Culture
know.
Untold.
Culture. Boom. There it is.
Still ain't got a theme song.
We still ain't got a thing, so.
Mr. Elliott.
What's good, Super? How you?
Like,
We live, y'all. So tune in. What up, Carl Banks? Yeah.
What up,
What's
Carl?
good, man? Hey, we need you on the show too. See?
we need
Come
Carl
on, C
the
Boogie.
show.
Come talk some sports. Educate us, man. Educate the people, man.
But
we need to talk about starter.
I need that Nick starter.
Yeah. We gotta talk about that starter. Let's do it.
He gave me the hottest Nick starter
Don't
ever.
even tell me about it.
With the
because,
Gucci colors.
You know, I haven't quite received any support gifts as of yet. I'm waiting, CB.
Let's give him a call. Get off and skip.
Yeah, all right. So we signing off over here. We live on YouTube, Culture Untold, Facebook, Culture Untold. Right now, come check us out.
Culture
Peace.
Untold.
Later.
Peace.
All right, let's do it. You got it. He said he's with it.
Okay, cool.
All right, peace.
Welcome back. We are back.
Yeah.
We've been a little sporadic in our live performances. I'm gonna say
Performance. Our podcast.
Our podcast. Due to some unfortunate circumstances, and also due to just some holidays and getting our life together, and also trying to I don't know if you noticed, we look a little extra crispy. Chad's upgrading the systems and stuff like that. And
we're trying to get it nice, man. We want the people to be happy.
I took a trip over to London, and I was gone for a little while. My boy Aaron from London is here. Aaron Hercules. Yo. What's up, Aaron?
I'm good.
He's off camera, but you can hear the vocal.
Yeah. let us hear that accent.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
You Brits are hot right now, man.
Yeah.
He just got y'all popping right now.
Yeah.
He just got the Brits popping right now.
But he's like the sexiest man in the world or some shit.
Yeah. He's doing it big, man. He's doing it big.
I've been told that I could be a family of his.
Yeah, no, you actually do. You do look like you're in the fam.
Okay.
So
when I went to London, I stayed with Aaron and his lovely lady France, and they took care of us. Just incredibly as always. And so he's in New York. I got to make sure I go snatch him up and
take care of him.
Take care of him, man.
Absolutely.
So we've been hitting the streets a little bit and doing the thing. Getting the old man out the crib.
Okay. Old man.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm the one with the arthritis.
Arthritis. Gotta say it like that.
Arthritis. I got the arthritis.
We're gonna take care of all of that, man. We're gonna get you straight.
They told me I got jammed up, man. I got arthritis in the shoulder, man.
Man, listen, man. That's nothing but, like my sister, ain't nothing for inflammation, baby. You gotta change your diet. That's it. Stop fucking with them McDonald's, man. I tell you.
I'm about to get on it. I'm about to change my life.
I'm about to change my life
in so many ways.
So many ways.
So many. But you on the bigger and better things. You taking another step into another phase of your life.
Often on our show, Aaron, you don't know this, but often on our show we'll talk about my lovely girlfriend.
It's not often. It's all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's all the time.
But that's what you call true love, right?
That's what you call it.
Yeah, she's the greatest, So
So
over the Thanksgiving holiday, it was actually on Saturday. I got engaged.
Yay!
Whoa.
Big ups.
What's amazing about that is never in my life I ever think I would be getting married.
Yeah, but you know what?
Right one came and that was it.
If you didn't, you'd be a fool.
No, I'd be a fool. She's the greatest.
It's kind of like you imagine Jay-Z not marrying Beyonce.
Yeah, he'd be a fool.
Yeah, like he would be.
Yeah. I never understood when men used to say, I dated up or I married up,
right.
And I was like, oh, what does that mean? You're equals, and I'm like, no, I know exactly what it means. I know exactly what I'm like. I'm married up. I'm actually doing good. Like, oh man. I keep telling her, I said, are you gonna wake up one day and be like, what am I doing? but she's wonderful, and I'm really happy. It was beautiful. And, her family is excited.
Tell us how it happened. I want to know how it went down. You can give us a brief.
I'll give you a brief. I was gonna do it at the Thanksgiving dinner and stunt in front of the family and all of that, and then just didn't feel right, and so we just went out to breakfast on on Saturday,
Mm.
and I told her I wanted to start, new traditions in our life, and I like to start by asking her to be my wife. And pulled
Now,
up the
did you do
ring.
this in front of the family?
No,
or was it just you and
it
her?
was just me and her.
Oh,
I decided it. I decided we needed to have this moment for us, and then
Okay.
then we went immediately to the family and shared it with them, and they threw a party for us. They whipped up. Her family is gangster. They whipped up a party in an hour, and it was a real party. Like, it was food.
Wow.
And
She is black. That's how I got
man, and she got a big family too. So it was like my big Greek wedding, but my big black wedding. But they whipped up, a party, and the whole family came over and they toasted us and they gave us advice, and it was beautiful, man. I've been fully accepted and vetted into the fam.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And as she has been with my family is different because my family is not all blood. It's it's you guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I don't have a big actually blood family. I have a these pretty small family, but I have a lot of extended family. And
for sure.
they've all given her the double thumbs up and the blessing. And so yeah, man, big things go on.
Excellent.
So I'm happy about that.
Well, I finally got a chance to really meet her, and
Yeah, because
spend some time
she
with
swore
her.
you wasn't gonna
yeah, she didn't think I was a real
She said,
person.
"I think you making Chad up. He never comes around."
Yeah,
So
you guys are not real friends. But we had dinner last week,
yeah. Oh man, excuse me.
and that's such an amateur move now. We're like 30 shows in.
Listen, man. I know you ain't talking.
We're 30 shows in, man.
I know you ain't talking, but yeah. Shout out to
Super G likes to see himself.
No, I'm
I know,
looking
you're
at
looking
the
at the comments.
comments, and Jeff says peace
Can I just say a
to you,
joke,
Aaron.
man?
Jazzy
Oh,
Jeff,
wow.
V. Jeffrey Smith and the family. Stan checked in and he wanted to
Oh,
Aaron
that's what's
peace.
up. That's
Oh.
what's up.
And
Big
and Tony
shout
from the
out.
Bronx, home of the hip hop, old and new school,
That's what's up.
says peace, man. I just want to chat, and Showtime's watching too. What up, Show?
What up, show?
Showtime has a new Christmas joint.
As an album or
No,
a
just
single?
a single
Okay.
called "It's Christmas Time" that we dropped on Black Friday. It's doing really well. A lot of playlists and stuff are picking it up.
Okay.
It's like it's a time of. It's really dope.
Really?
It's really dope. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
And it's getting a lot of love. So shout out to Showtime.
Did you share the show yet? I didn't.
Yeah,
actually.
I did.
You did?
Mhm.
How'd you do that so fast?
I did it before our faces were on the camera.
Damn.
That's why my people are on and yours are not.
I see. Let me give a little love to some of my people.
You know what I'm saying? Share the show, boy.
Yeesh.
But
Yes.
yeah, man. So it was good times, man.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Well, we're
Like,
excited for
I'm
you.
floating. I'm like,
I know when you came downstairs, opened the door, I was like, "Damn, you looking gay." Look. Well, at least I know the feeling. I have been engaged one time in my life,
okay, this is my first time.
and I'm hoping that
Hoping to be last.
I'm hoping to do it again and for it to be my last time.
Silky.
You know. We'll see,
Uh-oh.
see what God has.
What happens is that,
It's contagious.
yeah, it
I
is.
know.
It's
You start looking
you
like.
start looking like, yo, I like the way that looks. yeah.
That's funny.
Let's get it, man. Let's go.
No, you're right.
I want everybody,
It makes your life a lot easier, I think. You know.
A friend of mine told me, one of my best friends from high school. She said, and she got married, later, and she said, "Yo, it's so much better now because if you think about who you were with when you were 20, you know what I'm saying, but or who you were as a person." She said, like, she feels so much more secure in who she is. So she says, everything happens when it's supposed to happen. She said, some people get married, they marry their high school sweetheart and they're together forever. Some people, it takes a longer time to find their soulmate. And so she said, don't ever allow time to be the construct of your happiness.
Right.
And I was like, thank you. I appreciate that, because I was like, oh, man, I wish I would have met her. She said, you met her 10 years ago. You wouldn't have knew. You wouldn't have done it right.
You wouldn't have done it right.
He said, so, here
Yeah.
we are. Aaron, of course, has been with his lovely lady for 125 years.
Wow.
Damn.
That will make me very old.
Yeah.
27 years.
Woo!
That's awesome, man.
27. Aaron's older than he looks. Aaron look like a kid. That's what I'm like. How you feel with anybody 27 years?
I think we all fall into that category.
yeah, when you're only
though.
27.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us look our age.
No,
I think-
definitely not.
Yeah.
Of course, my godson is
calling you now.
calling me because obviously he doesn't watch my show.
Right.
But yeah, man.
Yeah.
But Aaron's been,
Yeah.
with his lady since he was younger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he has a different
okay.
experience than I'm having.
And you have kids also with
Yeah.
I do.
Right.
I do.
Right.
2 lovely kids. So guy's right. It depends on when that happens, when that connection happens, and when it happens, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
I knew.
You meet
Somebody asked me today, a friend of mine on Facebook, she says, when did you know that you wanted to marry her? I said 5 minutes into meeting her. I was like, I said it out loud. I'm glad I said it because I have proof. Because I said it to my friend Azania. You know Azania.
Yeah.
And I said, because it was her friend. She was a mutual friend. And she said,
I don't know if I trust my instincts anymore on that one.
and she said, but it was weird because it wasn't like, oh, she's bad. Because bad girls all around. It was just like something about her. I said, that's your friend? What's her name? She said, Shanae. I said, I'm going to marry her. I didn't even, it wasn't even conscious. It was unconscious. And then I spent the next few years verifying that what I felt in that moment was real.
Right.
And then once I said, okay, no, this still holds up, then it was time to start considering the next level.
Right.
Anyway, neither here nor there. We could get into culture now. Now that we've gotten past my personal.
Oh, man.
Yeah, right, exactly. Oh, what up, Tariq? Great event the other night. That's Tariq Dad had the event, Aaron. So
Oh, cool.
great event the other night. Look up Hybrid Music. Doing incredible things. Launched a new platform. I believe it's hybridmusic.com. Hybridmusic.com, yeah. And all of the coolest music coming out of the city, but all over. Whether it's Bilal or Freelance or whoever. They have all this live footage and they have this great lounge. Live music lounge that they also record, and they do all these beautiful shows and stuff. And they just launched a platform. They had a great party the other day. Okay. What's the boy name that performed?
Nick Hakim.
Nick Hakim performed.
Please
killed
check
it.
him out, people. He is incredible.
Yeah, bodied it.
Really?
And Casey Benjamin performed. Yeah, it was what a great event, man.
Okay.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
For me, anyway. I coming from London. And seeing what they do and how well they do it, and to be honest, I didn't know any of the artists.
But they were killing, right?
But they were amazing.
Right.
Just next level. So I said to them, please, if I can do anything to help, let me know.
Let's get this Hybrid Music UK version.
Yeah.
.co.uk. But
or better still, a Europe version.
Yeah,
you know?
European version, exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's really special, and Tariq's a great guy, and he's a great engineer and producer in his own right.
Right.
Been working with him for years, and so hi Tariq. and then last night, Aaron and I went to. There was an event. It was just ironic that Aaron's in town. It was an event called Brixton to Brooklyn. So it was
sounds dope.
They had DJs from London and DJs from New York, and so Boogie Blind was DJing. And a bunch of cats, but they also had a couple of rappers from London perform.
Oh, okay.
And that this guy Rodney P, who's like
Oh.
OG. He's like
he's
he's like the OG from London, early '90s, like Nas in London, right?
Yeah.
So, and he rocked. And then there was this guy that was a little more current named Desert Eagle.
Yeah. Crazy.
Spit crazy.
Really?
And then Monch performed. And Monch
Really?
did a couple of joints. He just as a surprise.
I was gonna say it wasn't scheduled.
No. Boogie Blind just brought him up, and he went and did Oh No, and Simon Says and tore the house down. And
Just shut it down.
Shut it down.
yeah, it was amazing.
Oh, no.
So we did that last night. So Aaron in town. I'm out here in these streets, man.
I see.
But it's good. It's good.
I'm out here in these
All
streets.
good.
What you been up to? I've been talking too much. What's up?
I've been doing nothing but focusing on our show. I've been waiting to push the button, man.
Okay.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, I've been up, night
Obsessing.
after night, obsessing, buying new equipment, and
Yeah, I see. You got.
yeah.
Can I just jump in here and say that
Yeah.
I am so impressed with your setup. I feel like I'm at a BBC Studios in London.
Yeah.
This is some crazy shit.
Well, that's awesome.
So
I'm
well
glad.
done.
Thank
to-
you,
to-
thank
to
you.
what you've got here. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
there was some more, but I said, you know what? Let me just get the show going.
Yeah, 'cause,
there's a couple of
listen,
things I wanted to add.
At some point, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, so let's get the show on the road already.
Aaron hasn't eaten yet, man.
Neither have I.
Gotta get some
I need some of that coconut fried rice. That's what I need. So
okay. Let's
let's
jump.
talk. Well, you know,
Go.
honorable mentions.
Yes.
One of your favorite people have passed away.
Who's that?
George W.
HW.
H.W. Bush.
Yeah, it's interesting. What's beautiful about the context of the world is that, George H.W. Bush is a war criminal, and I think he should have been in The Hague and he should be in jail, right? Compared to Donald Trump, he's a statesman. So it's a weird kind of thing. It's like...
Yeah, I get it.
He was like, for my lifetime of presidents, the presidents that I remember, I'm older, and I very slightly remember Gerald Ford, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't remember Nixon. Remember Gerald Ford. Remember Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter is tied for my favorite president of my lifetime. Ronald Reagan, hated him.
Yes.
Was the worst president of my lifetime until now. George H.W. Bush, right behind him. Then George Bush Jr. leaped over Reagan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Probably more because I was a full adult during that presidency, And then Obama came. I loved him. Had my problems with him, but loved him. And then, Trump came and made them all look like the greatest president of all time. But, I see people, people die and people deify them. You know what I mean? And they make them angels. And this guy was, I don't, he's the epitome of what you call the feds. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan at all. I didn't like him. I didn't like the people. I didn't like his policies. I thought he was, unjust wars and all of that, right? He ran the ship as Republican presidents often do, and but he wasn't stupid and he wasn't unqualified, and so there's a nod to that,
right?
In this time of dealing with someone who's grossly unqualified to be president of the United States. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So there's a nod to that. He's also 94, so I don't have a whole lot of like, he was 94 and pretty much had his faculties up until the day he died. Yeah. So
he lived his life.
Full. and I'm sure he's down there high-fiving with the devil right now in hell. So that's how I feel.
Wow. Okay.
All righty then.
And saying what's up to Ronald Reagan right next to him.
Aaron, this is what
and
I
Nixon.
deal with. And here is cultural.
I mean, this is one man's the views expressed by Guy Ruteo, not necessarily
those of the network.
Those of the network or Chad Elliott, for that matter.
Brothers.
But
No, I
know people that are very, very much into, he was such a great man, and and I purposely haven't said anything today until you asked me, because I'm like, let the man have his death day, whatever he decides, whatever, get it. But if you're asking me, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you the truth of what I think. I think he was, I don't think he was a good dude.
Okay. Fair enough.
Not my favorite dude. Anyway.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
But rest in peace. You know what I'm saying?
Wherever you are. Wherever you
rest in peace, man. Hope you bought a fan.
Oh gosh. Ouch.
They can't cancel us. It's our network.
Oh. Good point.
Can't fight like they did my man Mark Lamar Hill from CNN. Shout out to Mark.
Yeah, they can't do us like that. So, what else?
Solemn rest in peace to Kim Porter. We weren't here we weren't on when Kim passed away. For those that don't know, Kim Porter, model, entrepreneur, mother of 4. Yes,
3.
Four.
4?
4.
Twins,
Quincy and
that's
yeah,
right.
4. So mother of 4, 3 of them, which with Puff Daddy Diddy, one with Albie Shore.
Correct. Which is actually how I met Kim.
Right. So I'd say I know you know Kim from the Uptown days, I'm sure. Yeah. I met her a few times. Don't know her. I can't speak to knowing her, but she's always gracious and beautiful woman.
Man.
Suddenly died young, 47.
Month before her birthday.
I haven't figured out. I haven't seen anything that said what the cause was, other than that they said she got really sick and kind of like a flu untreated, and I don't know what. And then I guess it was a heart attack or something. in connection with it. Just tragic and sad, and right before Thanksgiving, and
Yeah.
I don't know. You have way more of a connection to her, so I would say, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, outside of just being one of the most beautiful people I've ever met before, I mean, her spirit, not externally, like internally, she was just a really amazing individual. And I had posted not too long ago. Last time I seen her, which was not too long ago, I was telling her about my Lyme disease and how it affected my short-term memory and blah, blah, blah. And right away, she's like, all right, well, let me start reminding you of some of this cool shit that we experienced together so you don't forget this. Right. But, just a loving and caring person. And, you can tell by...
just the tributes that have gone out.
Right, I mean, everyone felt exactly the same way. And, I'd have to say, if there was a such thing as an angel on earth,
she was it.
She was it, because how does everyone that you come in contact with, and it's not like she has a 9 to 5 and she sees the same group of people every day. She's traveling the world, and she has amassed a abundance of friends and people that care about her, and and she's just been genuine to each and every single person, and it's just a great loss, man. I feel for the kids. I mean, I know that she's in a better place, but I hate that the kids are here without, their,
man, that's to lose. Mother. As I lost my mom, a year and a half ago, and I'm devastated, and I'm an old man, so I can't even imagine what that's like for a little kid, So, blessings out to the family, and blessings to all those that she touched, because she touched a bunch of my really close friends. Were devastated. Like I said, I didn't know her very well at all. I think I met her twice, once back in the day and once not too long ago, maybe a couple of years ago. But she was gracious and sweet and kind and all of that stuff. I sense energy, and it's a great loss. I noticed that. I didn't realize that she was one of the producers of that Bad Boy doc that Apple put out a couple of years about a year
really?
And a half ago. Yeah, she was one of the producers on that. So I was glad to see that she was doing that stuff. And,
right.
And I know her and Puff had gone through lots of ups and downs, but it seemed like they have finally gotten into a place of peace with each other.
Yeah. Another thing that a lot of people didn't know was the relationship between her and Dallas Austin. Growing up together.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, best of friends, which is how the whole Drumline movie came about.
Right. Oh, yes.
Which is based on
them,
him and her.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't know that I'll Be Sure wrote "Forever My Lady" for Jodeci
for her
about
Kim. That I didn't know either.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Right here on Culture Untold.
Culture Untold.
Oh man.
Yeah, which is again when I was back in my Jodeci days.
Yes.
I met Al. And that record had already been
Forever
produced.
Lady.
Yeah, and she was the muse, the inspiration to it all, man. And
was she in the video?
She was not in the video.
Okay.
No, she was not. But she has some video.
She got some video credits. So yeah.
She's definitely.
I thought I saw some stuff in the montage about her. I saw her in the video.
Oh yeah, she's definitely. She was the one back in the day. That's for sure.
No doubt. Rest in peace, to Kim Porter.
Rest
man.
in peace, Kim.
Yeah.
All right, so
okay. All right, on to lighter news.
Yeah.
What else been happening? We talk about new music. That's what we get into. Meek Mill. Meek Mill is the record that's on everybody's
radar.
I didn't, full disclosure, I didn't listen to the whole album.
Great, thanks.
I did listen to a lot of it.
You didn't listen to it because it had 19 songs.
It had 19 fucking songs on the album.
And that discouraged you.
Listen, just looking at it, I was like, I can't listen to this now. Then I went back and I poked through, I listened to the Drake joint. I listened to obviously the joint with Hove and Rick Ross. Right. I listened to the one after that has the Hove sample.
Mm-hmm.
And
did you get a chance to check it out, Aaron?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. That's right.
No, I haven't.
And it's so my initial thoughts from just skimming sounds really well produced. Engineered. Shout out to Guru because it's engineered impeccably and mixed impeccably. I know that the metrics on streaming are more songs, more streams. I hate it. I hate that people are doing 19 songs on a fucking album.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you know what?
If you can't get it done,
I guarantee you, and I haven't listened to the album, so I'm going to say this with just a speculation, but I guarantee you that I'm right. I guarantee you, if you took 5 songs off this album, it would be a much better record. I don't care. I don't care if all those songs are phenomenal. Take 5 off the fucking record.
I get it.
You know, it should never be more than 12 damn songs on an album. It just can't, unless you're doing a double album and it's themed out and it's whatever. You know, it's just too many songs. Anyway, that's gonna be my complaint always. And I come from the era, you know, Thriller had 9 songs. The biggest selling album of all time, arguably the greatest record of all time, had 9 songs. Paid in Full had 9 songs. Illmatic had 9 songs. You know, Reasonable Doubt had 11 songs. Like, it's just like, come on, man.
Get it done.
Unless you're Stevie Wonder doing songs in the key of life, I want no more than 11 or 12 songs, man. I just don't want it, man.
Yeah.
And if you got more to say, release another album 6 months from now. Anyway.
But to continue,
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
agree with that.
No, totally. But to continue what you said about, you know, the production value of the album, I think it was well A&R'd. I know you were telling me actually that you were understanding that Rick Ross had it.
Well, Rick Ross is executive. He's executive producer.
Right. But I don't. He didn't per se pick the songs or.
But I think he did because it sounds like it to me.
Right.
Just without seeing credits, because we don't get credits no more.
Right.
It sounds like, you know, Rick Ross had something to do with it. Now, I'm not saying it's not an A&R. It might be Lenny S or one of them over at Rock Nation. I'm not sure.
Right.
Well, actually, they manage him, so I don't know why they would A&R there.
Right.
But
it's possible that
or maybe
collaboration.
Collaboration.
But again, just really, I think the beat selections and the music choice were just, you know, spot on. Like you said, sonically, Guru did an amazing job. But I think also, you know, you don't want to hear so many songs from Meek because you don't really like Meek's voice either.
No, right? I'm not. Well, it's not so. I don't like his rap style. Like, you know, I like. Okay, let me be clear so I don't get my hater hat on. I think what I like about Meek is that he's original. He doesn't sound like anybody.
Correct.
But he gets annoying to me after a while.
Yeah, because he uses the same tone, same intensity, right? Which why on this album I appreciated it so much because it felt like someone else understood that as well.
And then put things around him.
You got someone else. You got Fab on a hook.
Yeah.
You got, you know, someone else doing this. And
they didn't make it all him.
Correct.
I think that it's what I like about music, particularly the reason why hip hop resonates with me and it always has, is because it is so personal, and it's usually, you know, written and performed from the first person perspective. Like, so this is Meek talking about his life, and if you are fortunate enough to continue to grow in your life, you should get better as an artist, and you should be able to have more to talk about, and you should be able to, you know, there's a growth period, and I sense the growth in Meek. You know, that doesn't mean he doesn't have dumb shit on there, because he does, but I'm saying that. But I sense the growth in him as a person, but it also is reflective in his music, and that often isn't the case with music. Sometimes people grow, and you say, I know you don't think that anymore. Why are you still saying that? I know you don't act like that no more. Why are you still acting like that, you know?
Yeah. I felt like the content definitely changed.
Yeah. So I like the growth. I love that Drake's on the record. You know, I love that shit is behind them, and I know Drake is in need of allies at this moment post Pusha, but you know, he doesn't need 2 front wars going on. But I like that they can get past this shit, because it seemed like with the Drake Meek thing that it really wasn't personal, and I think that Drake was really shocked that Meek came at him. You know what I mean? And he was because they was cool. You know what I mean?
But Drake fucked up though. I mean, he
in terms of what?
He fucked up by not. What started the beef was him not sharing Meek's album.
That's the most. Let me say this right, because
if you go to his page now,
everybody's sharing everything.
Yeah. If you go to Drake's page, he's got all of that shit.
But here's the thing, right? Drake did the album. He supported it. He didn't tweet it because he was busy or whatever. He forgot, or he's just a flake. And whatever happened that is so sucker to me. That Meek's the sucker in that thing. If that's really the reason you went, like if you really was like, oh, I just found out Drake didn't write his rhymes and that bothered me, I respect that more than he didn't tweet my album out. Come on, man, that sounds like little kids. We're grown men.
That is low.
Drake didn't tweet my album out, and now I'm mad, and so I'm gonna expose him for not writing his. Come on, man, that's where we at.
He did expose.
That's where the bit, He might have exposed him, and it ain't hurt Drake's career not one iota. I tell you, and that's why. And it's a comeback album for Meek. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a comeback album for Drake.
That's for sure.
Neither here nor there, right? I think that's whack. Whatever the case is, I'm glad Drake is now sharing the record. Yeah, I'm glad he's on it. But I want to say something before we're gonna get into the whole verse because that's really the storyline. I want to shout out to. It's gonna be antithetical to who you think I am. Rick Ross, man. Rick Ross is the most consistently like I don't ever agree with what he's talking about. I don't agree with what he's saying. There's something that Rick just does that is really, really, really on point to me. And it's a lack of growth. I just talk like some say everything I said is the opposite of Rick. He hasn't grown. But boy, that motherfucker is dope.
I agree.
Rick is dope.
He's
and Rick was
consistent.
dope on this record. And Meek was dope on this record. And then fucking J fucking Z.
Listen, man.
H to the O-V.
This whole verse. And I'm glad that people jumped on trying to clarify because people are so ignorant. And as soon as they hear
Ye and
they hear Jay mention Ye, they thinking he's going at him and but he was doing the exact opposite. He's basically protecting
their relationship, even though he's saying
also his integrity. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna allow this bullshit to get in the way and separate me from that black man over there, like you did to Michael Jackson and Prince.
Exactly.
I'm
not gonna let the media dictate our relationship. Now, our relationship is what it is, and it's none of your business. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah, we got differences. That hat, we'll start there.
Right.
But
I don't even think that reference was to him. I think the reference was to them.
Yeah, no, it was. But what he was stating was, this is our differences.
Right.
Like that's the symbol of our differences.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he got at a lot of people. I don't like as you go through that verse, it feels like he's taking shots at Jimmy and Lucien Grange and them. It felt like he's taking shots at just like Jay is. What I like about it too is that I'm a pocket master. He wasn't really in the pocket on this record, but it was purposeful. It was like spoken wordish almost. Like he was like smacking up the world and wanted you to hear it. Somebody said it sounded like he rolled over in his bed and was rapping from his nightstand. Like he has a setup. Felt like he was in a robe with slippers. It was a lot of meat on that verse, and
no, it was.
And I love that kind of verse, the freedom, and he's talking about freedom and the freedom of his hair and freedom of whatever. Mm-hmm. The freedom to that you have enough good work in that you can be adventurous, and fuck around with flows and fuck around with pockets and fuck around with tone and there's a point in there where he like stops and like wait a second and then goes back into the like. I love that that artistic kind of
he's trying to do something different and you got to appreciate the creative
because
heart,
it can't be a question at this point in your life if Jay-Z can rhyme. Right. He's not one of the greatest. So he has that. So now what do you do at 49 years old and you're still rapping? You should be getting better. You should be trying new things. You should be doing some ill stuff. And he just consistently solidifies to me his place in hip hop as as the GOAT, as if not the one of the greatest that we've ever seen, just for the levels of consistency that he has.
Well, I think look, if you look at the totality of his career, you are going to have to say when it's all said and done that he is the greatest to have ever done it. There's just no way around it.
As I can't
we can have the conversation all day long about Big but at this point,
well, due to no fault of his own, or maybe of his own, Big died. Big got killed.
Right.
And so I don't know what Big would have been at
Right.
49. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know what Jay-Z is at 49. I just heard it
100%.
yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or
Correct.
48. I think he'd be 49 next week. But or be 50 next week. Yeah, because I know we're like a year. He's born at 69. What is this? 18? Yeah, he'd be 49.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what Big would have been. You know, I don't know if Big would have been, you know, because think about, there's a lot of cats, right, that in their era, they were phenomenal, right? But it hasn't been able to translate outside of their era, you know? Most people are that. That's what most people are.
Correct.
Most people that are the greatest. Rakim hasn't translated outside of his era.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Now, in his era,
KRS-One.
untouchable, and you know, nobody could touch Rod. He's the reason that Jay-Z rhymes the way he does. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
he hasn't been able to make a current record that matters in the way that 444 matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the landscape.
Correct.
You know, you have these conversations and you know that somebody's gonna take it like I'm dissing Rod, like Ryan, my favorite. You know, you know what I'm saying? It's a ridiculous notion. Everybody who knows me knows how I feel about Rakim, right? But Rakim hasn't translated. Jay-Z is probably the only one who has done that outside of LL Cool J, who has stopped. But LL had, you know,
Right, he had-
85 to 2004.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Who's had a run
Correct.
that long
Yeah.
of shifting with the times but not losing themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being able to be current yet still sound like Jay-Z and all of that, and being able to shift culture by what you choose to do. I remember the day everybody stopped buying jerseys when Jay-Z said, "I don't wear jerseys from 30 plus," and everybody stopped. The Mitchell and Ness stock dropped.
Listen, gold. The price of gold changed when he said it's time to wear platinum.
You know what I'm saying? when he Cristal's dropped, when he said we ain't doing Cristal no more. You know what I mean? Like, this is a guy that, you know, everybody ran and bought button ups and everybody, you know, it's like the power of this dude's, you know, on culture in general is amazing. That being said, this verse is amazing. I'm really happy about it. I will get to the album eventually. I just haven't gotten fully embraced in it yet. You know?
I got you.
I did get fully embraced in the Black Thought record.
Did you?
Yeah. Black Thought record. So Black Thought is doing a series. It hurts my heart because I had this idea before everybody. But a series of projects called Streams of Thought. And it's really legitimately him going to get with a producer or a series of producers, rocking out for 2 or 3 days, and just whatever comes out, they just put out. You know what I mean? So the first batch was with Ninth Wonder and the Soul Council. That came out, you know, maybe 3, 4, 5 months ago. And then this one is with Salam Remy. Came out on Monday.
Oh, so one producer.
One producer on each project. You know, an EP. Ain't no real hooks on. You know,
that was in my head. I was going to ask you, are there any hooks?
there on this new album. There's 2 songs with hooks, and the rest of it is just bars. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, Black Thought is a superior MC. He's probably one of the greater MCs still doing it. He's another one that has, and you know, I think he's been protected, you know, by the group, the Roots. But you know, in terms of like not having to be in the conversations all the time, and so that he doesn't get burnt out. You know what I mean? But he is just bar for bar. You know, there's very few that can even stand, you know, toe to toe with him.
Right.
But these aren't great songs per se. These are great bars for sure. But I don't think they're supposed to be great songs. They're supposed to be streams of thought. They're supposed to be like, you know, for the nerd that wants to sit down and listen to the bar and decipher. Is it a double entendre? Is it a triple entendre? What did he mean by that? How did it go? Blah, blah, blah. And then the pockets impeccable and all of that. Right. Some of it is, you know, you could tell that he wrote it that day, and some of it you could tell he had it. You know what I mean? So you could actually hear it in a stream of consciousness kind of way.
Right.
And so I appreciate that. You know, the thought I have about it sometimes is where will it sit in the scheme of, you know, his career? Like, is this something that people will go back to, you know, 20 years from now? And they may, because just like, you know, listening to Jimi Hendrix live at the Fillmore, you know what I mean? It's just, it's a moment. He's capturing a moment in time, and nobody does that better than Black Thought because he's been playing these live moments in time more than anybody else. You know, he's from a band, and it's not the same record every night. You know what I mean? So he has the ability to kind of do that. You know, that stream of consciousness thing probably better than most. I'm pretty happy with it's a really dope video streaming on Tidal. I went to the event and they played it. Young boy did the video. He's really, I forgot his name. I'm so sorry. But if you go and Google it, it'll be there. But it looked really, really dope and cool and 70s and soul vibe. And have you seen it, Aaron?
I haven't. No.
Yeah,
I'm just looking for it now.
Yeah, it's really, really dope. I wish I could give you the. I'm unprepared. I don't know. I don't have the name of the song, but it's really fresh. So shout out to Black Thought and his new project. Have you heard the Anderson .Paak record?
I have not heard the Anderson .Paak record.
Aaron?
I have.
Okay. I think Aaron and I are going to be on different sides of this Anderson .Paak record. Okay?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
mean, I'm a fan, but...
Turn it down. Aaron, the rookie move. The volume.
Why is it... This thing isn't... I didn't even know this shit was on.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, Anderson .Paak...
Sorry about that.
So for those that don't know, Anderson .Paak... he came to prominence on the Dr. Dre Compton album, which was the companion album to the movie Straight Outta Compton. And, you know, he was on like 9 of the 11 songs or something like that, you know, doing hooks and doing something. And then it was announced that at that point that he signed to Aftermath.
Right.
But he released his debut, and I put that in quotations because he's released music before.
Yeah.
But he released his debut album, Malibu, independently.
Yes.
Because that record was already done before.
Yeah.
And Malibu was just a smash across the board. It was a beautiful record. We were in love with. That was like
amazing.
That was the record for that moment.
But I first heard him on Dre's record.
On the Dre's record, on the Compton record.
Yeah.
But then Malibu was like it really lived up to it, you know. And then he dropped the joint with Knowledge, which I can't remember the name of the damn it.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the record, but it was like a EP that he did with this producer named Knowledge.
No worries.
No worries. Yeah. Right. With X's and stuff.
That's right.
And so, which was also dope.
Yeah.
It wasn't Malibu, but it was like what it was. It was a cool record.
Cool. It was cool.
But the anticipation was for this record with Dre. That was coming out on Aftermath, and Dre was going to produce a lot and, you know, executive produce what he didn't, you know, and mixed up record.
Right.
And so it came out, and I listened to it, and it was good. And it wasn't great to me. And it was a case to me, and I have a bunch of people like that were like, you crazy. It was a case to me of where something is shinier, but not necessarily better. It definitely sounds impeccable. It is produced impeccably. You know what I mean? Sonically.
Well, we're not going to disagree.
Okay. Okay, cool. So
I haven't heard it, so I can't
And I'm a fan.
That's what I'm saying. But I think for those of us that are really fans, I think that this was... I wouldn't call it a disappointment. I just don't think it lived up. It's not better than Malibu. We'll just get that out the way. It is not as good as Malibu.
Yeah, next level.
And I think that Dre and them tried to, like I said, shiny it up. And they did that, but it didn't need to be shinied up.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes an old leather coat
is
as bad as an old leather coat. And I think that, you know, just let the kid do what he does.
But that happens in the game that we're in, that you create something when you literally
have nothing.
Nothing. And then as things progress, you feel like, okay, I need to up this. So I'm going to put all the bells and the whistles.
Right.
And then
you lose something.
And then you lose it.
Yeah.
You just lose that thing.
Yeah.
So
and I
you know how many times I've made music and I've taken it to the studio, and you know, once you go from that 2-track mix to that 24-track board,
you could lose it.
48-track board, and shit changes.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was shooting a video, you know, and I wanted to hire his director. It was Kevin Bray, actually, who was like really, you know, famous in TV world these days. But, you know, we were artists, and Kevin Bray had just done what's the boy name? Chill Rob G video. And so I was
Wow.
so I was like, yo, I like the way he shot this, you know. And so he comes in and he's like, yo, man, oh man, this is great because you know we were popping at the time and they were like, we're gonna give the biggest budget he ever dealt with. So he was like, oh man, it's great. I'm gonna get a shot from a helicopter and we're gonna use this new DP and everything. And I remember the video person was like, okay, thanks for coming in. And she said, I don't want to use him. And I said, why? She said because we want him for what he did here. He wants to do something else, and he said he may be able to pull that off, but he might not be able to pull that off. And she said, I would have rather he take the money and do exactly what he did for Chill Rob G. And I'm almost like, I wish they just let Anderson produce the record. You know what I mean? And then came in and cleaned up, and maybe they did. And who knows? Because I don't, like I said, once again, I don't have the credits. But it sounds like,
I mean, he had some of the people from the Malibu record.
It's way too many features on it too, by the way.
Yeah, and but I do feel Dre had quite a influence.
No, it's you could hear it, and perfection is not perfection isn't what makes a classic. It's when things sound perfect, you know what I mean. And I want the imperfect sometimes, and I want the you know, I want the funk and the groove, and I want the vibe, and I feel like he lost that, and it's now central casting. It's like, this is what it's supposed to sound like, and it's like, it sounds great, but I know I didn't go back to listen to it. Didn't get no replay yet. Right. I'm gonna go back and check it again because that was my first impression.
I gotta listen to it. I know my son. I know CJ is an Anderson .Paak fan.
There's a couple of people I know that are fans that are telling me I'm crazy and they think this shit is just
you're gonna get that. You're gonna get that.
The bomb. He said, "You crazy? This is the best album ever." And I'm like, it just.
But if you really take time out and listen to what he created with Malibu, and to what he's done with this new album, you're gonna understand what we're saying.
Yeah, right. and that's this. It's funny because I have the argument all the time about Nas Illmatic and It Was Written. I feel exactly the same way, right? Illmatic feels so organic and so what it was, and then It Was Written is like Dr. Dre's on this person, and it feels a little, and he all of a sudden he's Escobar, all this other stuff, but just people that argue me down, and It Was Written was a better record, and I'm like, better is relative, but I don't think it is. I don't think it's anywhere near the record that.
I mean, I might be going a little bit far here, but when we hear Michael's Off the Wall and we hear Thriller, for me,
Off the Wall is
it's pure,
phenomenal.
It's as pure as
unbelievable record.
Yeah. What's funny about that is when I was at Sony with Chad, I used to, I took it upon myself to kind of like take the interns like as my my part of my gig. So all the interns would be up there, and I would try to explain to them how they have to love music to be A&R. If you really want to be A&R, you got to love music in a real nerdy ass way.
And unfortunately, we don't have many of those people.
Exactly. And so I said to them, so I would say,
not in this country.
And they'd all be 18 years old, 17 years old, 18, and I'd say, okay, here's a test. What's the biggest selling record of all time? And they'd be like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, the biggest selling record of all time is Michael Jackson's Thriller. You are in the building where that album was done, and in that drawer right there are the CDs of that album. So have you ever listened to Thriller as an album? And most of them hadn't. Take it home and listen to it. I said, now, take Off the Wall home with you too. And write me a report. I used to make them write reports. Write me a report on why Thriller sold more than Off the Wall. Although all the people I know who are musos love Off the Wall more. And so they would come back, and they were the ones that took to the test. Really came back with some good answers. And my contention at that moment was that Off the Wall, two things. One, Off the Wall was embraced that it was a disco record,
right?
To the point where they had disco in titles of the songs and stuff.
Right.
And Thriller was a pop record. Thriller had features.
Yes.
Eddie Van Halen, which Paul McCartney and Vincent Price, and it was more sticky in that way. Had a shtick to it.
But it goes back to what we're saying with the Anderson.
So that's where this is where I'm agreeing totally. Like it was like they followed the same formula You know, you start off with starting something. You start off with Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. You come into Girlfriend, coming to Rock With You, coming to, you know, like they followed the formula, Girlfriend and Girl Is Mine, same formula. Then you get to Thriller, and then you get to Beat It, and you get to Billie Jean. And those are the records that changed.
Yep.
You know, and
Absolutely.
But also, Off the Wall was first. And it was a record that sold 8 million copies. He won 4 Grammys.
Yeah.
He had 4. He's the first solo artist to have 4 top 10 singles off one album. So it wasn't. We act like Off the Wall was this little throwaway record.
Was no failure.
If he never did Thriller, he'd still be one of the biggest selling artists of all time with just Off the Wall. So it was one of those. You know, it was one of those things. But yes, I agree totally that it was. And sometimes, you know, I also acknowledge, and you'll help me on this, Chad, that when you kind of get in early on something and you discover something, it kind of feels like, you know, I don't like the pop version that everybody else likes. You know, so I acknowledge that there's some of that. You know, there's some of the I love Section 80, so Good Kid, Mad City, but that's the difference. The Kendrick Good Kid, Mad City didn't do that. Like it was like, yo, this is actually better than this actually did that. Like you actually did the better record, you know. So I'm gonna give it a couple more spins.
No, it's definitely worth doing
because he's a special artist and he should get that.
Yeah,
agreed.
100%.
And I think he's gonna be wildly successful with it. You know, I don't think it's gonna.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and but I love the tints. I love the shit.
Tints.
That shit is.
Yeah, Tints crazy.
No, listen.
Crazy.
That all of that stuff I said does not apply to that one single.
And that's what was the thing for me, because when that's
dropped, what made me excited.
I was like, yeah,
that's good. This feels like Malibu. This feels like it's gonna be.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard not to get caught up in the past, or you know, even if it's the recent past, and to say I really want that. Like it took me a while to get into Kendrick's Damn,
right?
Because I was so on Pimp a Butterfly, and it was so different.
Yes.
But that's the difference, though. That was totally different.
It was.
Whereas this is not totally different. It's just not better.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that.
And it's a pack.
So, shout out to my man Neil. Shout out to Crystal. My cousin Keith. What up, Keith? Keith Mathis. Vic. France Choulet. Do you hear your man, France?
She's
Erica Hatchett.
She's watching.
Yeah, Guana from Cape Town. How you doing? So yeah, we got some
awesome, and we got some people on IG Live checking us out too.
Peace.
What's up, guys? I can't really go through everybody's, but hey, what's up? Tune in, YouTube. Facebook, Culture Untold right now.
Culture Untold. We're still on. We're still live.
And if not, you know, you can go back and catch the show.
Go back and catch the show. Whatever you missed, we talked a lot of good stuff.
Our special guest friend, Aaron. Well, Aaron, so, you know, you're sitting here and Aaron, I just met you today.
You actually met him before, but
right.
Yeah,
but
remet.
And more formal introduction today. We spent more time together.
And can I say I'm really, really honored to be in the presence of 2 great people.
Thank
who
you.
are very knowledgeable and done so much in the game that people need to know.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Well, thank you.
They need to know that.
Well,
the great Aaron Hercules.
Well, and we also need to know more about Aaron Hercules. So, tell us a little bit about.
Oh man,
let's. You know,
I feel like I gotta tell it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
He can.
So first of all, Aaron is obviously British.
Is he
from London?
Is that a real accent?
Yeah, and my last name is real. It's too.
Really Hercules.
Yeah,
he didn't make that up. It wasn't like Stevie Wonder. It's Aaron Hercules for real. He's
That's awesome.
Grenada, right?
I'm from Grenada,
and
the Isle of Spice in the Caribbean.
Yes, that's indeed. So you know, like most of the black folks in London, he's of West Indian descent,
still
or African.
Mind blowing to me how they get from.
Yeah, man. Listen,
that was a heck of a track.
Yeah.
But continue.
He is music business like royalty in London. You know what I'm saying? It's like anytime I meet somebody anywhere in the world from London, I ask them, you know, Aaron Hercules. Of course, Aaron. You know, I mean, and that's in urban music, pop music, rock, whatever. Everybody knows Aaron. He's like the ambassador. I was lucky enough through my attorney and friend Kervin Sims. Way in the early '90s, I went to London a couple of times with artists, whether Shaheem and Goodfellas, and I hated London because we would stay at the Royal Garden in Kensington. And then
you never got the chance
we never got a chance to see the hood. Forget the hood. I never got a chance to see anything other than Kensington. You know what I mean? We go to Harrods and we you know, and we get this whack ass beans for breakfast and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kirby's like, "You crazy? London's shit." And Aaron, he plugged me in with Aaron the next time I went, and I had a ball. Aaron took me to Maru. She took me to DJs. She took me to Mango's. I got the great food, and then they had this party called Rotation at this club Subterranea. When I tell you this is the best party, like ever, this is the party. If you in the 90s, in the 2000s went to London, this is the party you had to, I don't care who you were. You were D'Angelo, you were Lauryn Hill, whatever. You had to be at this party. Right? It was it was like the greatest party. Or, you know, how many nights was it? One night a week? Was it 2 nights a week?
It was on a Friday. And then it progressed.
It progressed to Saturday. Yeah. So
shout out to Femi,
and Joel,
and to Chris Crooks. They're the creators of Rotation, and then our dear friend Joel,
who was the manager,
and Leslie.
Yeah, Leslie. Leslie worked the door. So here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Because I knew Aaron, you know, we didn't have to wait on the line. We roll up, and it would be like we was the stars, man. We roll up, man, and we'd be properly taken care of in this club. We'd be in there. Maxwell be in there. Whatever, you know, like that kind of spot.
Prince would be in there.
Prince would be in there. You know, like whoever's in town had to come to the spot. And they're having an anniversary for that party.
This year, New Year's Eve. And Loose Ends is performing.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
So I'm saying you guys need to come.
Oh man, for my birthday.
Loose Ends is performing.
Yeah.
At the reunion party for Rotation at Subterranean. It's not even like at another club.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing. Anyway,
that's pretty awesome.
So I met Aaron, and Aaron used to work for Rush.
That's correct.
So he was
yeah. My boss was
okay.
Good. Go ahead.
That's crazy.
I was shaking out there. I don't know what's that.
Yeah, man, we're having a moment.
Yeah, it's glitching.
It's glitching.
It's glitching.
Do you think the audio still
recording?
recording?
Yeah, audio's good though.
Okay, cool. So he was working for Leon Russell,
That's right.
And so all of the management clients that would come over to London, Aaron would
So I was responsible for their
De La Soul. And so all of them, they see Aaron, they're like, oh, you know,
awesome.
you know. Run DMC, everybody, Public Enemy, everybody that came through, So, he just incredible music guy. On and on. You had to tell me just the history of who he's worked with, and still a current manager, content guy. He has a client, Connor Maynard, who is, Justin Bieber over there. I'm sorry if that's a disrespect. I don't mean it in a disrespectful way.
Yeah. Well, we get that all the time.
Young white kid with a great voice, who's actually now on Broadway.
Correct.
Is that off or
it is?
Oh, we still recording. Okay.
Good,
All right. So he's now on Broadway at a play called Kinky Boots.
Okay.
And so he has a limited run.
Yeah, he's got a lead role in the show.
In Kinky Boots. So that's
cool.
what he's over there.
Isn't Wayne Brady also doing Kiki Boots still?
I don't know.
I think he's not at the minute now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But was.
Okay.
Because they bring people in and out.
Yeah.
And I think it's the final run. They're getting ready.
They're
getting ready to close off. And so so I mean this is the dude, man, and very connect. Also had a stint as a sports agent.
I still do.
You still do that. So so with the footballers, the proper football, not the
rugby.
Yeah, no.
Rugby.
Soccer. Soccer's what they call football.
What's the other thing that they play with the ball? It looks like a
That's
football.
rugby.
That's rugby.
No, he's not doing rugby. He's doing soccer. And over there, that's like
that's royalty.
That's royalty. And but so I'm sorry because I know he won't talk about himself but he's been very, very influential and incredibly helpful to me in all of the stuff that I try to do over in London and in Europe in general. And we kind of like bounce back and forth. If he got somebody over here, I'll grab him, and we do the same. And friends became family, and that's it. That's my brother now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's awesome.
And that's what it is. It's amazing because he sees Arjuna. He's known him since he was little guy. And his son is
Yeah.
grown now, and I'm like I remember his son being over here when he was young, and it's beautiful to have these kind of relationships around the world. So
Really is.
for sure.
Really is. Really is.
this is my guy.
Awesome.
And a pleasure to be on your
Culture
podcast.
Untold.
Man.
Yeah,
Listen, man,
yeah.
and to be able to, this is the kind he could chime in anytime. He could sit here, because he has that kind of legacy. And it's always, what's really amazing is to see how, to hear the stories of what we were experiencing from that perspective is really dope.
Yeah,
So we would tell a
definitely.
story. He'd be like, "Oh, when they came over here, this was how. Remember the time when Buster came and couldn't get in the country, or they took him off stage because he didn't have a visa and all that stuff." To hear those stories of that, it was it's been really amazing. You ever, next time you go over to London, man,
Oh yeah, you have to.
got to go with the tour guide, bro.
You have
know
to.
what I'm saying?
Now I'm looking forward to going.
Yeah, gotta go with the tour guide, man. And we've been to Amsterdam together. All
Yeah.
that, we travel Europe together.
Yeah,
So this is my guy, man. And
That's
but he's really
Well, his energy's good.
fundamentally across the board, just totally respected. People don't just like. They're not just like, "Oh yeah, Aaron, that's my guy." No,
Right.
That's my
No,
guy.
that's the guy.
Oh man, So a lot of people made a lot of money hanging with Aaron.
Yeah, they did. They did. But it's it's good. I appreciate the time that I've spent in
we
this
feel like
industry.
I feel like we're just getting started, right?
I
It's
know,
weird.
I know.
It's a weird energy.
I know.
But-
I mean, Joel the other day reminded me that the Young Disciples album "Road to Freedom" will be 30 years old. Next year. So yeah, that's like you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
those anniversaries start coming up.
Yeah.
Midnight Marauders, 25 years.
Exactly.
Like, oh
Exactly.
man,
Insane.
And Enter Wu-Tang,
Yeah.
36 Chambers, 25 years,
Yeah.
man.
Insane.
So
And feels like it went like that. I remember everything that was
Yeah.
happening in those moments. So,
yeah.
but
Definitely,
yeah, man. So
definitely. So yeah.
thank you for coming and joining us, man. We're gonna
it's-
pull you in. We'll pull you in from London on a
pleasure.
Culture Cam in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm up.
Uh,
I'm ready. I'm ready, man.
Whenever we want our correspondence from over there, and I really gonna get your daughter in because
No, you should.
she's so cultural. And I'm gonna put Josh in a headlock. If he's here for 2 weeks, I'm gonna have him on because his son is like the tastemaker of all tastemakers. And
but very opinionated.
without question.
So I guess they'll be right?
It'd be perfect. It'd be
If me and
perfect.
Josh would be sitting here jousting, I'll be like, "Look, kid, I remember when you was 2. Stop it." But you family here, man. We appreciate you coming through, man.
Thank you.
Chad is been great.
Yes, man. Another show.
Another good one.
We made it through.
Made it through. No, that's good. We promise to be more
Had a
consistent.
little technical issues toward the end. but
Technical on the video, but we
audio's still good.
when you're
for those
listening
that are
on,
listening.
Apple
listening.
Music, you won't know that we had.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you couldn't anyway, so it doesn't matter.
No,
He's the best looking guy in the house.
Oh, stop!
and he's got
stop.
the voice to go with it.
You
So
see,
Stop,
you see his
stop.
sneakers.
I was
Stop.
checking him out.
Stop.
Fly guy in here.
So that's some brand collaboration with Converse and who?
J.W. Anderson.
J.W. Anderson. Cause he's that dude.
Okay.
He's that dude.
All right.
Oh, God.
Well, let's roll out. Let's go get some food, man. Let's get
Yeah.
everybody. And
Hope you guys enjoy the show. We'll be back. You please share us, like us,
Culture
check us out
Untold.
on YouTube, Facebook.
make sure you like us too, because we need to get our numbers up.
Yes, and go to Apple Podcasts, please, and check out the one show that we do have up. But after that,
We'll have this one up.
yeah,
for sure.
we'll have this one up immediately following, hopefully by the end of the day. Anyway.
At the end of the day, for top of tomorrow, Apple Podcasts, and make sure you rate us. You got to rate us. Give us 5
yeah.
stars.
Yes, give us
To
5.
quote the great Bomani Jones, if you give us 4, I tend to think that you're a hater. Go ahead and hit that 5 stars and rate us. Thank you.
sure.
And, write a review if you like it, okay?
Oh yeah, definitely. Tell us what you think.
Culture Untold, Chad Elliott.
Kairute, a.k.a. Super G. That's what I call him. And we out. Aaron, thanks again.
Thank you, Aaron.
Always a pleasure.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Yo, that was crazy.